usually do crime on my channel, but lately, in the last few weeks, it's been quite an interesting case that's resurfaced. It's a cold case on a young man called Stephen Clark, who went missing nearly 28 years ago. When he went missing, it was a very bizarre, sort of strange affair. He was last seen near his home in Marske, near Redcar in England, on the 28th of December 1992, and his body has never been found. But the police have said the investigation was ongoing. Recently, there was a programme on ITV, and I'll put a link in the description about that programme regarding this case. His parents, who were in their 50s at the time of his disappearance, but are now in their 80s, have been living with this situation, if you want to call it that, for 28 years, nearly 30 years. Recently, after all this time, they were arrested for his murder last September 2020. But after they'd been questioned and their house and garden searched, a house they'd never left since his disappearance, they were released without charge. Stephen Clark's parents, Doris and Charles, confirmed that they were arrested and described the situation as ludicrous. The ITV programme has been extremely interesting to follow, but yet has a few gaps, of which I'm keen to follow up, like many, I think. And our two channels have picked this up. But there are questions in this case regarding Stephen. Yes, he was 23, and he was, under law, an independent young man. His issues were physical. He'd been left with disabilities following a childhood road accident, and had left him with a severely damaged arm, a damaged leg, and a pronounced limp. They believe he was last seen going into toilets near Saltburn Pier. But in September, Cleveland police said he'd been sighted later the same day near his home, which he shared with his parents. At the time of his disappearance, he was attending the Rathbone Society in Redcar, which worked with people with disabilities to improve their employment issues and capabilities. There's been an anonymous letter that was sent to the police way back on his first disappearance in 1992. But, as are often the case with these anonymous letters, it hasn't really been established whether this is relevant to his case. No body has ever been found. Where Stephen and his parents live is on the coast with high cliffs and beaches, and no body in all this time has ever washed up. His parents are both adamant that they last saw Stephen going into some public laboratory facilities near the beach where they'd been walking. His mum was with him, and she recalls that he went in to the female side of the toilets because I believe that the male ones weren't working or they were locked. She seems to recall there were two men with a little girl waiting outside when he'd gone in to the spot. But one man went in with a little girl after Stephen, and then he came out, and then the other man followed in to keep an eye on the little girl, he said. the other on a break. But what is really strange is that Stephen has just almost disappeared into air. There were sightings of him a week or two after his disappearance. I'll put some links in my description regarding the programmes and documentaries regarding the case, which is important. Obviously the parents have been beside themselves for 28 years, but obviously there's been elements of doubt as to what happened with Stephen. Was he murdered? Did he run off? There is allegedly a girl that he was with or dating, but has not been mentioned much in the documentary and has almost been dismissed out of the case notes that we found so far. So what made Stephen disappear if he did indeed disappear? Is he still alive, and where is he now? His parents are in their 80s, and as time goes by your memories change, you distort, you forget. His father is an ex-police. He comes across as quite a usual, if I hate to say the word, ex-police cop with slightly sort of withheld emotions. But that does not make him a murderer or someone that would cause harm to his son. So the question is, what happened to Stephen Clark in 1992? Did he leave quietly out of the back when his mother wasn't looking? Was his mother even there? Is he still alive all these years later? It's a conundrum, but I should say I'll leave some links in my description. And maybe one can look into it if one's interested. Thank you. Carrie Pink.